Burnout among healthcare workers remains a top issue facing healthcare systems patients too.
Yeah, a new WSU study looks at two ways hospital administrators can stem the tide of nurse aide turnover. Kelly Koopmans talks with one of those researchers out of Washington State University.
Kevin, thank you so much for joining us. Excited to talk to you about this because the study looked at turnover in nursing aides in long-term care facilities. And it sounds like people like two things. They like consistent schedules and they like consistent coworkers. Tell us about this.
Certainly. So we looked at nurse aides. Specifically, we're looking at part-time nurse aides, so people who have inherently variable schedules. And we looked at them because they're the ones who have a problem with turnover. So nationally, among nursing homes, there's about a 50% turnover rate. Within our data set, it was 54%. But when we broke that down between part and full-timers, the part-timers were 80%, the full-timers were 4%. So we said very clearly, this is the contribution to the problem. How can we look at what's variable for them, which is their schedule, and how does that impact their turnover? So we started looking at that from the standpoint of how many hours do they work? So they work on average about 23 right now. What would they like to work, right? What would be that point that minimizes the amount of turnover? And the baseline level there was about 26 hours. But much more impactful, and to your point, is who they work with. So our other measure was this idea of coworker variability. So 0 to 1 scale. 1 is you never work with the same coworkers ever. 0 is you're always working with the same people. On average, they're looking at about 62% on that. So they're working, because they're part-timers, because they have variable schedules, they're working very often with not the same people. Huge.
I imagine it makes it easier too when you're working with people to know who you're working with and have some familiarity, so there aren't those curveballs thrown every once in a while. In talking about the healthcare industry specifically, how big of a...
So within long-term nursing facilities, which is about half of CNA, where half of CNAs are employed, nationally, again, it's roughly 50%, and are giving about 1.9 hours per patient day of patient care. In comparison to the other two nursing types, RNs are only giving about 0.7, and LPNs, licensed practical nurses, are giving about 0.8. So CNAs are by far giving the most amount of patient care. And they're the ones, because they've got the lowest both barriers to entry and exit, they're the ones who are turning over by far the most. And that actually has healthcare impact. So we actually found that the incident rates of bed sores, the rates of receiving vaccines, flu and pneumonia when they're indicated, are both harmed as turnover increases. So this actually leads to a patient care problem as well.
Did any of this surprise you?
The degree to which the coworker consistency or the coworker variability was such a larger impact compared to ours. We were expecting, because they do not get paid very much and working on around 23 hours a week, that we were expecting a fairly large effect of hours per week, because that would raise them close to or above the poverty line. So we were expecting a fairly major effect of that, and we saw it, but it's not very large. Comparatively, that you get maybe 3 to 4 times the impact in changing this culture as you do working that optimum number of hours. That to me was surprising.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Well, Kevin, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
So it sounds like our healthcare professionals just want consistency. When I first heard about nurse burnout and being overwhelmed, I immediately thought, oh, it must be because they have an overflow of patients and everyone's getting sick.
I would think the same thing.
Yeah, it's about their staffing levels and also the consistency of who they work with.
And we were sort of having a conversation about that before the show too, and thinking about, you want that same team, in place every single day. You kind of know how they jive, how they might respond to certain situations. So I can see why that's, kind of a concern if they're talking, 60 to 70%, that only happens that much time. So consistency is definitely one of those.
Managers have to start giving them some consistent schedules, right?
I think so. Yeah.